So here's my topic for Music Monday to start out Music Monday. Now, you guys know the gig on Music Monday. Music is not required. We're not just going to talk about music, but it is encouraged. Some of you guys have sent some listening recommendations. Some of you guys have sent some articles pertaining to music. Others are just, other topics in the world. So we don't just do music, but music is encouraged. And here's my topic for this week. And this is a long time overdue, I feel like, just in general. And it's been said by other people. You don't need to hear it from me, but you're going to hear it from me anyway. So I was on a show not too long ago, and I mentioned, and it was like a live stream kind of like this one, and I mentioned that for my album, which Agnostic Holiday, you can pick it up now anywhere you get digital music or digital downloads or whatever, you get the idea, iTunes, etc. For my album, Agnostic Holiday, what I did was I wanted to have just download cards, which I have, and I'm selling at my shows and what have you. And then I just wanted to distribute it digitally. And the only physical product I wanted to have was a limited edition run of vinyl. I didn't actually do CDs because, I had a little bootleg album that I would sell at my shows, and I just made CDs. And it took me forever to sell them because nobody frickin' buys CDs anymore. After shows, people would say to me, hey, I literally have no way to play that. Some people would buy one anyway, and they would be like, yeah, I'm going to buy this to support you, but I don't have a way to play this. So I feel like CDs are kind of not pointless to make. People do still buy them, but I'd rather, if I have to have a physical product, I'd rather just have vinyl. So I decided I'm going to do digital download cards, and eventually I'm going to have a limited edition vinyl. I'm going to do a short run of vinyl, and I'm going to sell those to whoever is interested in owning it. I'm going to sign every single copy. And that's what I'm going to do. So I mentioned that I'm going to do vinyl, and in the chat, some people were like, oh, Ron, you're such a hipster. Oh, that's such a cliche. Yeah, of course you want vinyl. Yeah. Here's the deal, all right? First of all, I'm too old to be a hipster, all right? That's just a fact. Maybe I'm a proto-hipster. I don't know. You can call me what you want. I don't understand how calling someone a hipster is an insult. And I know a lot of times when people call somebody that, it's meant as an insult. But to me, I'm like, why is that especially to somebody who's not 20. I'm not 20. So calling me a hipster which I don't even know what that means, but calling me a hipster, or calling someone like me a hipster, you're basically just saying, like, you still pay attention to stuff around you. Like that's, how is that an insult? You still enjoy live music, and you still pay attention, and you read and stuff. Loser. Why is that? How is that an insult? I don't understand how that's an insult. Somebody explain to me how calling somebody a hipster is an insult when they're over like 20 years. And even if they are 20 years old, how is that an insult? But when Mike S points out, yeah, you like culture. You like culture? You enjoy that in the world? I'm like, yeah? Is that bad? You wear glasses. Yeah, I need them to see. You like to see and you like culture? You're such a dork. And maybe I am, but I don't know. I just don't get the insult. But anyway, all right, so getting back to vinyl, because I'm going to explain why vinyl is what it is and why vinyl is outselling CDs. It's not because it's trendy or it's hipstery. I mean, it is a little bit, yes. I'll concede there. It is hip right now. It is a bit trendy right now, but it's also superior. It is a superior product. So here's the deal, guys. And I know right now I'm preaching to the choir. But so vinyl, first of all, I'll say this about me. I've enjoyed vinyl since I was 6 years old. I got really into music at a young age. My parents introduced me to classic rock, and I freaking loved it. And one of my favorite things to do as a kid, I would love to have my dad. I didn't know how to use a record player, obviously, and I wasn't allowed to because I was like 6. But I would love to take out my dad's records, and he would play one for me. He'd be like, this is The Doors, this is Jethro Tull, this is Led Zeppelin, this is Gentle Giant. He dug deep, my dad did. So he would play a record for me, and I would have the record in my hand, and I would like read the liner notes, and I would look at the pictures, and it was such a cool experience to me, because when vinyl records were the only game in town, artwork was taken very, very seriously. That still happens today. I'm not going to say that has completely gone away, but has it diminished a little bit? I would argue yes. I would argue that artwork isn't quite emphasized as much now as it used to be when vinyl records were the only game in town. Now, hey, I'm proud of the artwork on my album. Story Grub, who did the artwork for my album, I love that man's art. I think he's incredibly talented. The fact that he was willing to do a cover for me was freaking awesome. And, the label was willing to pay him because they know how talented he is. And I love the cover he did for me. I freaking love it. And it was his creative vision. I didn't guide him or boss him around. I just said, you do you. The album's called Agnostic Holiday. My name's Ron Placone. You know that. Do the rest. And he made, in my opinion, an incredible album cover. But I think that vinyl, it used to just be more heavily emphasized. So that's part of the reason that vinyl is something that is very much loved. Now, getting into the sound of it, vinyl has superior sound to albums. So imagine that the sound of recorded music is a pizza. I'm always hungry when I do this show, by the way. I think you all have caught on. We do a lot of food analogies in this show. And one, I just like doing them. Two, with my new diet, which I don't know if it's a real diet or not, but it's easy for me to do, so I do it. And that is the fasting diet, where you try to go for a 12 to 14 hour to 16 hour stint without eating. Incremental fasting, or whatever it's called. What is it called? It's something fasting. Anyway, the pizza analogy for vinyl. So imagine the recorded sound is a pizza. With vinyl, maybe you get like almost all the pie, except for like maybe the crusts. With a CD, you maybe just get a little bit of the middle, and you're really missing out on a lot of toppings, because when it gets when you break down the bits for digital recordings, because it's in a smaller space. Intermittent fasted. Thank you, Vegan Marine. Intermittent fasting. Anyway, I've been doing it. I've been able to keep my weight down relatively. So anyway, so I do that. So you get a better sound with vinyl, especially if you're playing it through a tube amp or something like that, than you do with CDs. So why were CDs ever popular? Well, because of convenience. There was a time where CDs were first brought to market, and holy shit, they're way smaller than vinyl. They're not near as heavy. We can just kind of pop it in. We don't have to flip it. We don't have to drop the needle. How convenient is that? So CDs were on the rise. I bought CDs for a long time. They were more convenient. CD players, you had handheld ones. It was really convenient. But what ended up happening was we got something more convenient than CDs. We got digital music. We got iPods. We got iPads. We got iTunes. Now you can just kind of have all your music on your phone. You have everything in the palm of your hand. And you can get albums that way. You can buy an album where it's just all MP3s, and then you have the artwork there so you can still look at it. And you can get your music that way. So a lot of the sound is still lost. So that became more convenient than CDs. All of a sudden, CDs weren't the most convenient game in town. So what happened to CDs? Well, some people still wanted a physical product. I still enjoy having a physical product. If I really dig an album, I like to own it. I like to have something I can touch. I like to have something in my collection. A lot of people still feel that way. And a lot of the people that feel that way, they're really into music. So what's something that they know? They know that the best sound comes from vinyl. So if you want a convenient product, you're going to go for the most convenient product, which is a digital. And I get my music digitally too. I think all of us do at this point. But if you still want that physical, tangible product, well, you're going to go for the thing that sounds best. So that's why vinyl is outselling CDs. CDs were only there because of convenience in the first place. Now that they're not the most convenient game in town, they don't really have that much of a function. So vinyl is more popular than CDs. Vinyl is outselling CDs. And I don't see that ever changing. So that's why vinyl is popular. That's why people like it. That's why I'd rather have a vinyl for my album than a CD. And no offense, I own a lot of great CDs. I still love buying anything. And sometimes if I find a cool CD, I'll still buy it. But usually when I go to a record store, I'm looking for vinyl. And that's more people than not today. And it's not because they're just, oh, we picked up the hipster phone and it said vinyl's cool today. No, it's because it's better sound. And it's a cooler, tangible product in most cases. So why not just have something cooler if you want something physical, and have something that sounds better if you just want something physical? So there you go. Let me see what you guys are saying. You guys seem to be in agreement. Way better sound. Statutory says CDs cost 2 cents to make, and it is an easy profit margin for companies. Licorice Pizza Record Store. I've never heard of that, Edwin. Daniel rocks the tube amp. I don't own one of those, I gotta admit. Jordan says that intermittent fasting sounds really unhealthy. I've worried about that, actually. I don't know if it's good or not. But I know that 12 hours is actually pretty healthy for your digestion. I don't know if over that you're just pushing it. Who knows? Tums Lover says, most people who use labels are pretty small-minded. Let them be small-minded. They most likely will never change anyhow. Screw the labels and be who you are and love who and what you love. I'm with you, Tums Lover. You know, the only labels I really do appreciate, though, are record labels. Music Monday! I like record labels. We got to do a segment on record labels where we talk about our favorite record labels. Now I'm already thinking of ones I want to throw out there. Let's save that, though. That's got to be a topic all on its own. Let's see. Brother labels. Statutory points out CDs were way overpriced in the 90s. Yes, but they also had those clubs where you could get the CDs. You know, like they had those CDs where, like, for a penny you would get like 40 CDs, and a lot of it was stuff you probably didn't want to listen to anyway. Some of it was. I think we all got. What was that one CD they shoved down everyone's throat? Like, literally. Oh, it was like Stabbing Westward. That band, I remember that was like the tail end of CD clubs, and they just gave that CD to frickin' everybody. And they did give some good stuff too, like Jagged Little Pill, great album, Alanis Morissette, I love that album. And they gave that A1 and 2, Counting Crows. I enjoy Counting Crows, A1 and 2, not a big Counting Crows fan, but I enjoy Counting Crows. You guys are already jumping on the record labels. Save it. Although Daniel, K Records, Sub Pop, Factory Records, that is quite a trio of royalty. That is quite the royal triumvirate. Rough Trade, Mike. I went to Rough Trade when I was in London, and it was freaking great. But we will continue this. This has got to be this will be a topic for next Music Monday, where we actually talk about labels. But anyway, so that is what I got to say about vinyl. And that's why vinyl is outselling CDs. It's not just because we all played a hipster game of telephone and we all got the memo. It's because it has superior sound, and it's just kind of a more fun thing to collect. There you go.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your